when it comes to property investment, are you trying to solve the wrong problem? When I first meet with people, usually the things that come up in conversations are things like, where should I buy, what suburb, what location, what property type, etc. How does the whole property thing work? I mean, these are all valid questions, certainly, and on a surface level, it would seem that that's a pretty logical place to start. But what I suggest to clients is perhaps before you sort of jump into trying to figure out the what and where, maybe it's a good idea to start thinking about the why. And the why is property on the table in the first place? And for a lot of people, for everyone, that's probably going to be not the same thing. But for a lot of people, I find usually property's on the table from the point of view of they've probably got a sense of where they're on track for with their, let's say, their super mainly. They might have some other investments, but where they're on track for at the moment, those numbers aren't necessarily going to get them to where they want to go. They might have even spoken to a financial planner or someone like that and got a bit of an idea of where they're tracking at the moment. And that's maybe going to be a little bit off track. So then they've turned their attention to property and going, okay, maybe I've got to start doing something else, and maybe property is the answer to do that. So, that's kind of how they arrived at that situation. I guess where I'd be looking at things from would be rather than sort of zeroing in on the property to start with, um, get a bit more clarity on those numbers first, and work out, okay, if there is a gap there that you've got to make up, try and get a bit clearer on what that actually is and what time frame you need to make it up by. Like, what do you actually got to work with, and look at what your current position is, and what ability you've got to make that gap up as well. So getting a little bit more clarity on that can then actually start to help answer some of those other questions around, okay, what should I be looking at property wise? Like, could it be, could I get there in one property? Is it going to take more than one property? What do the numbers need to look like on that property? Those sort of things. Like, how does that property need to perform? What sort of rates do I need to get out of it? Growth rates, etc. What sort of yield? So some of those questions become a little bit clearer once we understand the problem that we're actually trying to solve and what sort of time frame we've got to work with. Um, so my suggestion would be, before you jump into trying to figure out the property, maybe get a bit more clear on what that problem is you're trying to solve first. Um, and if the investment gap is one of those things that you're thinking about that you might need some clarity on, I've included in the link below like a handy little tool. Like, it's just a quick back of the envelope calculator that you can use. So it's not going to give you an exact estimate. It's just going to give you a ballpark, but it might be a good place to start. So if you want to check out the link in the description below, that'll take you through, and you can actually plug some numbers in and get an idea of maybe how you're tracking at the moment. Anyway, good luck with that, and I hope you find that useful. Thanks.